Who was the U.S. president during the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks? The answer is George W. Bush.
Who was the president when the United States landed the first humans on the moon in 1969? The answer is Richard Nixon. Who was the president when the Pearl Harbor attack occurred on December 7, 1941? The answer is Franklin D. Roosevelt. Who was the president when the U.S. Civil Rights Act of 1964 was signed into law? The answer is Lyndon B. Johnson. Who was the president during the Watergate scandal that led to a resignation in 1974? The answer is Richard Nixon. Who was president when the United States entered World War I in 1917? The answer is Woodrow Wilson. Who was president when the Berlin Wall fell in 1989? The answer is George H.W. Bush. Who was the president when the Louisiana Purchase was made in 1803? The answer is Thomas Jefferson. Who was president when the U.S. entered the Great Depression in 1929? The answer is Herbert Hoover. Who was president during the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962? The answer is John F. Kennedy. Who was the president when the United States declared independence from Great Britain in 1776? The answer is no president. Who was the president when the United States purchased Alaska from Russia in 1867? The answer is Andrew Johnson. Who was the president when the stock market crashed in 1987, known as Black Monday? The answer is Ronald Reagan. Who was the president when the U.S. entered World War II after declaring war on Japan? The answer is Franklin D. Roosevelt. Who was president when the Emancipation Proclamation was issued in 1863? The answer is Abraham Lincoln. Who was the president during the signing of the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, in 1993? The answer is Bill Clinton. Who was the president when the Treaty of Versailles was signed, ending World War I? The answer is Woodrow Wilson. Who was the president when the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in favor of Brown v. Board of Education, ending racial segregation in schools in 1954? The answer is Dwight D. Eisenhower. Who was president during the signing of the Camp David Accords between Israel and Egypt in 1978? The answer is Jimmy Carter. Who was the president when the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, was signed into law in 2010? The answer is Barack Obama.